no, brother, we still 5%ers. You know what I'm saying? And then he showed me, like, in the lessons, like, that's Elijah Muhammad's quote. You know, when the question is asked, who is the 5% on this poor part of the planet Earth? That's Elijah Muhammad's answer. They're the poor righteous teachers who don't believe in the teachings of the 10% who know. That's Elijah Muhammad's answer.
That's what
So,
make.
so he was like, I never forget the brother told me, he was like, if you truly love your brother, you know what I'm saying? If you truly love your brothers in your nation, go after your brothers. Go after them. Get the wisdom from the Most High Elijah Muhammad and go after your brothers. You know what I'm saying? And show them what the truth is. And I was like, wow, just, from him breaking that down for me, because again, I'm thinking it's two totally different things. Nation of Islam and the 5% nation, I'm thinking are two totally different things when they really aren't.
Yeah, that's what
They're
I
all
thought
one,
too.
they're one and the same.
That's what I thought too. I swear I thought that
Yeah,
until I started doing
yeah,
the history. Cause like I said,
right.
years ago when I had came across the uh the Nation of Gods on Earth teachings, you know what I'm saying? I was reading about the Nation of Gods on Earth, and I, boom, 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 just kind of skipped my mind. But then when I went
Yeah,
to the mosque and I started, when I started studying the mosque and got knowledge of self, when I started my knowledge of self there, and then when I went back to the 5% teachers again later on, that's when I started realizing this came from the mosque. You know what I'm saying? I
exactly.
didn't think that the mosque teaching came from them. I knew that their teachings came from them, just because the way, you know what I'm saying, the lessons
Right,
and stuff like that. I was like, I got these lessons back in the mosque. Now y'all giving me the same lessons. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly,
these the lessons,
exactly.
And that's when I got.
Yeah,
That's when I did my reading on the father and realized the father was in the mosque. That's how I knew.
right,
Okay, I was like, yeah,
right.
okay. Now I see the
Yeah,
connection here. 'Cause I used to think they
it's
was
it's
different things. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's like a lot of them when they say, the father left the mosque or the father took, our took away the Muslim names, and they say it with such disdain.
Yeah, like
Like
yeah.
it's a bad thing. Like it was something that he didn't want to have anything to do with no Islam or no religion, and it's like it's just everything is told out of
And
context.
see, if they
You
don't think
know?
about it, they still got Muslim names. Allah, that's an Arabic Muslim name, man. You
Yeah,
call yourself
yeah,
unique
yeah,
born Allah, or you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? That's still in the
yeah.
Muslim category.
Exactly.
They
There's so many words from the word Mecca to Medina
Dina.
to Allah to Muslim to Muhammad to Arabia to I mean, we see all of these things in the lessons, all those Arabic words in the
Yeah.
lessons. You know what I'm saying? But hence that's why I always go back to what I always tell brothers, and brothers that get pissed off when I say it, but yo, just give us back our lessons, man. I mean, they're clearly they're Muslim lessons
And the
for
flag.
lost found Muslims.
You
Like
know
if
what I'm
you don't
saying?
like what it says, if you don't like the father didn't change any of that stuff out of there. The father could have said his own self is a righteous God. I'm taking out X out the word Muslim. We ain't no damn Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Lost found Muslim lesson? No, lost found God lesson. We ain't no damn Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Are the 17 million the original Muslims? No, the 17 million are the original gods. I'm taking that out. The father didn't do none of that. He didn't do none of that.
None of
So why are you guys doing that? Why are you trying to X out Muslim everywhere you see it in the lessons?
it.
It makes no sense. It's showing devilishment,
That's like them
as you
saying.
said.
That's like them saying Jesus was a Christian. He never said that he was a Christian. Just like
Never
you
came out
said.
his mouth.
Just like you said, the
Right.
father never said I wasn't a Muslim. He never said that.
This is the reason why we say they become religious people,
Yeah, yeah.
without even knowing it,
Knowing
they
in it.
become religious. But it's crazy because as the Muslims, we're looked at as religious. And we don't have nothing religious about us. But they're doing all of the religious stuff over here,
Yeah.
and we get the blame for it, for
The
being
the
religious.
NGE, the one
You
that's doing
know,
the religions. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
it's
about what the
religious.
father says. What
Because
you say?
once you start saying what religious people say, Christians know that Jesus is not here today to call them on their madness.
Yeah, call
So
him on
they
that.
can put up they can put up a Christmas tree in the name of Jesus. They can, go Easter egg hunting in the name of Jesus. They can do all of these things, in the name of Jesus, because they know Jesus ain't here to call them on their foolishness. Likewise, same thing with the so-called Jews. They can do everything and say, "Oh, Moses," because they know Moses is not here. So whenever a great culture, when Allah sends a prophet or a messenger and he establishes culture, African culture, black culture, because this is what all of these cultures who prophets and messengers have came to this planet to establish, this is what they were all based on. The African concept of life, love, peace, and happiness. This is our concept. So, in all different degrees, Allah has sent prophets and messengers to this earth. But as those great prophets and messengers left from among us or were taken from among us, this is where we see the devilishment now beginning to seep in. And now people make suggestions and say, no, the prophet said this, or
Yeah.
no, the messenger said this, or no, the apostle said this, but he can't show and prove that. It's only rhetoric.
Then it becomes a
But because
belief.
the prophet or messenger is not here to challenge them on their foolishness, they get away with it.
Yeah.
And so this is what we see happening within the nation of gods and earths. Father Allah is not here today. He's dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the elders who started this nation are no longer here today. So a lot of stuff is shrouded with falsehood and it's put out there. I remember when I first got knowledge itself with the nation of gods and earths, I asked them like, yo, one time, like, yo, how was Allah the black man? How was the black man God? Nobody was even able to break that down for me, to explain how was the black man God. Because I mean, coming from the church, I always thought God was,
In the
he's
sky.
up there.
Yeah, spook.
Yeah. So you're telling me that, wait a minute, I'm God?
How is
How
that?
you explain that? Yeah, break that down. How is the black man God? How did we self-create ourselves from the black womb of space, the triple darkness of space? A lot of those brothers can't explain that to you. Why? Why can't they explain that to you? Because most of them haven't read the messenger's books. Just that simple.
They ain't go
They
back to
haven't
the
read the
root.
messenger's books.
Yeah, they don't go back to the root.
They don't go back to the root.
If you don't go back to the
So
root,
as far as what the Most Elijah Muhammad said concerning Allah, most glorified and exalted, and how he self-created himself from an atom of life into what we see today in the universe, a lot of them can't break that science down. They can't even begin to break it down because they haven't went back to the root. So the root is very, very important. You got people walking around calling Yaqub a devil, and the Most High Elijah Muhammad never presented him to us as being a devil.
original man.
He only presented Yaqub to us as an individual who had to carry out a certain mission
Yeah.
because he knew he had a certain job to do, and that job was to rid the original people of that negative brown germ. That was it. That was his job, you know. But again, a lot of these brothers can't break none of those sciences down to you. When you back them in a corner, they can't do nothing. Nothing.
Then they gonna
Like I
say,
said, when the true and living gods, when the Muslim gods come walking around, come walking by, you see them over there building, and then when we come by, you know, because they know and understand, we know these teachings, and we can break it down for you. You know what I'm saying? The only thing they may have over us is quoting ability. They can open up their 120 and they can quote from front to back. And I even challenge a lot of them on that. To be honest with you, a lot of the brothers in the nation of gods and earth don't know their lessons by heart. But yet and still they get on the Muslim gods. Oh, you niggas is reading lessons. Oh, you niggas don't know y'all lessons. Oh, y'all niggas, oh. But a lot of them don't know their lessons by heart. I've seen this firsthand, personally. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, God, it's a lot, man. It's a lot, man.
That's what
You
they be
know,
doing, man.
but